Chapter 8, The Upside Down. Joyce and Hopper are captured at Hawkins' lab and questioned. Brenner asks Joyce to help him by telling him how she made contact with Will, but Joyce yells at him saying that he's the reason Will is trapped. Officials ask Hopper what he knows, and he says that he knows everything. He promises his silence on the matter in exchange for them letting him and Joyce enter the portal to find Will. Brenner also asks where 11 is, and Hopper says he'll tell him if he leaves the other kids alone. Joyce and Hopper put on hazmat suits and are allowed to go through the gate. Brenner leaves to find 11, convinced that Hopper and Joyce will not come back from the Upside Down. Jonathan and Nancy go back to Joyce's house to trap the Demogorgon. They set up a bear trap, pour kerosene on the floor, and hammer nails through the baseball bat and replace the Christmas lights. So basically, there's like a living room and a hallway and a kitchen, a normal house. They put back up the Christmas lights. They lead a trail of gasoline down the hallway. At the very end of the hallway is Will's room. They set up their base there. And so they're like, okay, so we lead him down the hallway, close ourselves in the bedroom, and then we light the kerosene on fire. He steps in the bear trap and he's on fire. Then they cut their hands to bait the Demogorgon, then bandage their hands and wait for the lights to blink, signaling that the Demogorgon's presence is near. Basically, yeah. However, Steve shows up wanting to talk to Jonathan and apologize for what he said. Nancy and Jonathan tell him to leave, but the lights start blinking and the Demogorgon crawls out from a hole in the ceiling. They all hide in Will's room, ready to light the kerosene, but all is quiet. They exit the room to see that the Demogorgon has left. Steve is in disbelief, and Nancy tells him that he needs to leave. He goes to his car and sees that the lights are blinking again. Then, the Demogorgon comes back and attacks Jonathan, knocking him to the ground. While the Demogorgon's back is turned, Nancy shoots at it, emptying all of her bullets at it, and eventually just chucking her gun at it. At the last moment, Steve comes back and hits the Demogorgon with the bat with the nails. It steps on the bear trap and Jonathan sets it on fire. He extinguishes the fire and they see that the Demogorgon has disappeared, but not before leaving a huge puddle of blood. Joyce and Hopper navigate the Upside Down and come to a demolished Castle Byers. Will is gone. Hopper has flashbacks to his daughter suffering from cancer and her eventual death. They come to the version of Joyce's house in the Upside Down. As they walk through the house, the lights illuminate down the hallway. Jonathan and Joyce are aware of each other, although they cannot see each other. At the school, the kids are waiting for the adults to come back. Mike tells 11 that soon she'll be able to live with his family and not hide anymore. He says that he wants to take 11 to the school dance, and he gives her a little kiss. They do a little kiss. Brenner and the rest of the people, the science guys, they arrive at the school and corner the children, but 11 makes a group of them bleed from their eyes until they fall down dead. Exhausted by the effort, 11 faints and Dr. Brenner discovers them. As he's talking to 11, the lights blink and the Demogorgon, drawn by all of the blood, appears through the wall. The kids get away and the Demogorgon attacks Brenner. Bye-bye! Joyce and Hopper enter the library in the Upside Down. They discover Barb's body and leave her there. That's kind of rude. Joyce finds Will against the wall with a snake vine going into his mouth. They pull out the vine, which starts to slither away, but not before Hopper can shoot it till it dies. Will is unresponsive, but they perform CPR on him and he starts to breathe again. The kids hide in the classroom with the weak 11. Mike comforts her, and then the Demogorgon bursts through the door. Lucas fires rocks with a slingshot, which is extremely ineffective. Suddenly, the Demogorgon is blasted against the wall, and 11 appears, her nose bleeding. 11 walks up to the Demogorgon, pushing Mike away when he tries to intervene. She says goodbye to Mike and uses her powers on the Demogorgon, which disappears, and she disappears with it. We're losing people. Will recovers in the hospital and reunites with his family and the boys, who fill him in on what's been going on while he's gone. 1 month later, it's Christmas Eve. The boys are playing D&D in the basement again. They finish their game, and Mike looks sadly at the place where 11 used to sleep. Jonathan enters the basement and comes to pick up Will, which is like, that's a good idea. You should not let him bike home anymore. I'm very glad you're taking initiative. When he goes back upstairs with Will, he runs into Nancy, who gives Jonathan a new camera and is then seen to turn around and go back to Steve. So yeah, we had that whole moment. They cut their hands. They like look at each other longingly. They spend all this time together. They bond. And then she's like, still want Steve. Which sucks for Jonathan. But he got a new camera, so. Which, by the way, very sweet. Steve is rich. He bought the camera. They allude to him. Like, she comes back after she gave him the camera. And he's like, did you give him the camera? Was he happy? Oh, yay. So, like, Steve is an angel, okay? He's redemption, okay? Hopper makes an appearance at the office Christmas party only to take some food and then leave, driving to the woods where he leaves the food along with some Eggos, Eleven's favorite food, in a wooden box in the middle of the woods. The Byers family celebrates Christmas at home without any Christmas lights. Before dinner, Will excuses himself to the bathroom, where he coughs up a slug into the sink and then momentarily sees his bathroom that he's standing in as the upside down bathroom. Then he flashes back to normal. Will comes back to the table and elects not to tell anyone. Instead, he tells Joyce about the D&D game they had as they eat Christmas dinner united again. 11 might still be alive. Barb, though, dead. Papa, we never saw him get killed, but he got attacked by a Demogorgon, so he's gonna stay down. My God, I'm so tired. I'm so sweaty. That was the end of part 1 of Stranger Things recap. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me your favorite part. Don't comment on my audio. Leave me alone. I love you, and I'll see you sometime for part 2. I don't know when I'm gonna do part 2, but now I'm in it, so I have to do all the way to season 4. Love ya. We're finally finished. That took so long, but I'm currently working on the script for season 2, so that shouldn't be out. It will be out, but not, you know what I'm trying to say. It'll be out soon, okay? So stick with me.